So in this tutorial, we are going to create this simple sports design. Without talking much, let's get started. So I'll click on new file over here. For my size of document, I'll use 4 on the width and the height 5. I'm on inches, and I'll name my document sports design. Make sure my resolution on 300, and I click on create. So my first thing that I will do is I'll click on create new fill over here and go to solid color. I'll use this color code. I'll copy it and I'll paste it over here. You can look at the color code 004D60. That is the color code that I want. You can use the same. So I'll click on my rectangle tool over here and I'll create a rectangle and divide my canvas into 2 like that. Make sure that it's perfect. As you can see, the color code again A7E6FD. You can use the same color code as usual. Okay, so I'll bring in my model. As you can see, yeah. So I have to cut out my model, but since there is hair over here, it will be very difficult to use any kind of tool to remove the model. So what I will do is I'll click on convert to the layer. First of all, you have to make sure that you have selected that layer and you click on convert to layers. You click yes, you click on select subject. So after selecting subject, I'll zoom in. You can see that the shoe didn't select well. So I'll click on my lasso free to over here. Since I want to add this part to the selection, I'll hold shift and draw my selection like this and add it to the already selected part. Hold shift again and correct it. So now zoom into the hand. I'll hold shift and add the thumb to it. You can see the selection didn't go through in between the fingers, so I'll hold alt to remove this selection, this part of the selection, and I'll hold alt to remove this part of the selection again. I think I'm doing a great job over here. And look through the arm and the chest over here. You can see I also hold alt to remove the selection. So if you want to add the selection, just hold shift. If you want to remove the selection, just hold alt and use your free lasso selection to do it. So now my next move is I'll go to select and max, and I'll click on decontaminate colors. It will do a job and it will clean up the mess in the hair since the selection didn't do a great job in the hair. I'm doing this because of the hair. That is the reason why I checked the decontaminate colors, and I'll click OK. Boom. It did good job, but not perfect. But we'll use it like that. So now my next move is I'll bring in my text. So bring in width, click a smile. So these are three different texts. So I typed in, I click the checker over here, and I separate them. I align them very well over here, and I'll increase the font to 150. I think 150 is too big. I'll go to 400. Let me see, 100. I think 100 is okay. So my I'll use 100. I'll bring it down, and my smile to 100. Okay. So my next move that I will do is I'll duplicate each of my text layer over here. So I'll select all of them, and I'll hold Control to select the other two, and I'll press Control J to copy all of them. You can see width with a copy, A with a copy, small with a copy. Then I'll bring the original text layer beneath my subject over here, and this time around I'll select the pixels of the width. So I'll right click and go to select. After going to select, I'll go to select, modify, contract. Contract, you typed in 3. It will reduce the size of the selection, like it will contract it, make it smaller. So you reduce it by 3 pixels. That is what the contract selection means. So I'll click on that. It will reduce its size by 3 pixels. So this time around I have to delete the selected pixels between the smaller pixels that has been selected now from the main, the duplicated layer. So I'll right click on the text layer, go to rasterize type, and I'll delete it like this. Let me deselect, select, deselect. You can see that it has created an outline on top of the width beneath it. Let me turn it off. You can see that outline. Since I contracted the selection, now I deleted the new contracted selection of the copied one. So this one has created an outline, and this is the main layer of the width beneath it. Okay, so my next thing, I'll also select, right click, select pixels of the air, go to select, modify, contract, same by 3 pixels. I'll right click. The reason why I rasterize the type layer is if you don't rasterize the type layer, you can't delete the layer, anything. So you rasterize so that you can delete the newly selected air. So I'll delete it now. Okay, and I'll go to select, deselect. So I'll also do same for the smile. Right click, select pixel, modify contract. Okay, right click, rasterize type, then I delete. You have seen now it has created some nice outline on top of the subject. Now you can move the subject and you know it creates an illusion for you, like anywhere you go there's an outline and there is fill, so you can place your subject on top here. I think I have to bring my text down, so I'll lock my background and I'll select, sorry, I have to lock this one too, and I'll select a small and bring them down like that, and I'll turn on my subject like that. Yeah, so now the next thing is I have to bring in the ninth logo. Here is it. Let me press Ctrl T and make it smaller and bring it over here. Okay. It's black, so I have to change the color to white. So I'll double click over here and select color overlay and choose white and click OK. Voila, I'm done.